Mikey B, Game 1, Rockets, Lakers. Yeah, Harden, the beard versus LeBron James. Used to have the gray beard, but, he changed it up, went all black, wanted to show that I'm still young. Hey, LeBron, I like the gray, man. I like the Hayabuchi type of thing, showing that, you're older, but still busting the young guys' tail. But let's get into the details on what happened tonight. I didn't like the attitude and the mannerisms of the Lakers tonight. They did bring back somebody that has been really missed on this team from a point guard perspective, and we're going to get into it now about Rajon Rondo. Let's get into the stats. Let's feel the game out. Yes, you see the score. Rockets win it, 112-97. Details. Okay, Rockets side. Incredible defensive game from P.J. Tucker. If you didn't see the game, go watch it. P.J. Tucker was extraordinary on defense. The guy is 6'5", 6'4", my height, burly, showing, hey, just because I don't look like an athletic freak and more so a linebacker or offensive lineman in football or tight end in football doesn't mean I can't play the game of basketball. And much kudos to him because he doesn't get enough respect. 6 points, 9 rebounds, but let me tell you, he had a 30-point game from a defensive perspective. Who else came through with the small ball lineup? Eric Gordon, believe it or not, 23 points. Okay, that's what they need from him every night. He's a capable scorer of that manner. He used to score 50 back in the day on the Hornets. So don't forget. I don't forget these players and what they used to do. I know what they're capable of. That's why you come to this channel, because I know it. Eric Gordon, 23-3 with 1 assist. Robert Covington playing the center role, stretching the floor, 6 points, 7 rebounds. There's more to give there, but they score 112, so I can't hate on Robert Covington. But again, stretching the floor is going to be his main ammo. Did pretty good playing against 7-foot centers, all right? James Harden, what a night, and what a defensive night for James Harden. If James Harden, speaking to you, my friend, can play that type of defensive effort, I'm not saying he's going to be great, but if he could put in the effort he did last night versus the Lakers, there's something special going to happen with this team. James Harden, 36 points. 5 assists and 2 rebounds. What a performance, okay, from James Harden, the beard. Russell Westbrook, getting smarter. Decision-making was huge for this man. If you remember him back on the Thunder, and it used to be games where he would just start to shoot it up and recklessly, remember those reckless plays? That's no longer. His shot wasn't going. You know what he did? He drove to the hole. Russell, much respect, great game knowledge, great game maturation, and I appreciate that from Russell Westbrook. 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. What a night for Mr. Russell Westbrook. I appreciate what I'm getting from this kid. All right. Next up, Mr. Green, 7 points, 4 rebounds for Mr. Green. Okay, not bad, but we need more from him. 7 points. 4 rebounds for Mr. Green. I'm excited to see that he is still producing. I tell you what, when Durant came out from out of Texas, Mr. Green was out of Georgetown. Jeff Green was probably one of the top players in the college game. Okay, he has a body of work he's probably the starter of this big man shoot outside, going inside outside. All right, Green was part of that group. I mean, there's guys who were early, I don't want to show my age, but, Anthony Mason. There's guys that were, way back. Antoine Walker is another one. But this guy really, the smooth forward type guard type play, he's smooth, man. I love his game. I wish he would have been, there's more he could have been, but he's playing his role. I'm telling you, Jeff Green was a one-time All-Star if he really put it all together and didn't have any injuries. So 7 points, 4 rebounds, enough of my Jeff Green, slobbing and knobbing, enough of that. So Daniel House, not much there, played 20 minutes. Daniel, good defense, need more, okay? Let me tell you the guy that was a game changer, okay? Austin Rivers finally came through. 10 points, 3 rebounds. Austin, you have to be consistent and continue to bring that to the table. If you do not, we're in trouble. 10 points, 3 rebounds from Austin Rivers. I like it. I like what I see. Ben McLemore, he goes for 1 assist. Needs to do more, played a little bit of minutes. They try to get him into some play. I think he can do more for this team. Now let's go over to the west side, the LA Lakers, and look at the stat lines there. It's going to hurt us, right? Anthony Davis, I talked about this. You can neg me if you want, but I said Anthony Davis over 20 points a game. That's where he needs to be, and that's when they win. Guess what? Tonight, no bueno. No bueno. 25 and 14. Really took advantage of James Harden when he needed to, but it just didn't work out for them today. It didn't work out, and let's go over why. LeBron James, 28 and 7. Not a LeBron James night. Okay, go to the other side, the main scorer, and these playoffs got to put up 30. I do think LeBron James is giving the helm over to Anthony. So, Anthony, you thought I was going to say James scored 30? No. Anthony Davis has to put up the 30. I hate to say it. They played 37 minutes, but LeBron James is older. I'm playing him as second fiddle to Anthony Davis. I said it. I don't care what no one says. LeBron James is still an extraordinary athlete and player and has an immense knowledge of the game. However, I do think this is more flowing to Anthony Davis's team. He's going to have to shoulder even more of a load. 27 and 8 is almost a triple-double. But when you look at what he did in the fourth quarter, that's going to be the problem. JaVale McGee, 4 and 3 rebounds. There's more he can give. Only played 13 minutes. The speed was going to be a killer for him. That's why they took him out. Next up, I'll tell you what. He's gone next year. He's gone. Caldwell Pope is going to be gone. However, I said this in other games. His movement has improved. Okay? If his shot gets going, guess what? I think he'll get a contract. He'll get a nice contract. His movement is there. He looks really good. His handle looks good. His defense looks good. So the man he's improved athletically, in my opinion. He looks different. He looks different than what he was on the Pistons. By the way, Caldwell Pope was on his way to become a one-time All-Star on the Pistons. Averaged, I think, over 17 points per game. So remember his pedigree. He's not a slouch. Okay, he's supposed to be the third guy. However, whenever teams play with LeBron James, there's a problem. And I think, some things are in his head. Caldwell Pope, 5 points, 3 rebounds. Will he come out of this shooting slump? I hope he does. He's rushing his shot now. That's the only part that is missing. If he can get his shot down, which I think Rajon Rondo will help with because of the way he maneuvers and organizes the team, I think they could be special, and then you have what they need to possibly make a championship run. Another guy that is not performing, I'm sorry, Danny Green. Now, let me rephrase. From a defensive perspective, another guy is the Lakers' calling card right now is defense. Okay? Let's just be straight. Their calling card is defense. It's no longer an offensive machine, the late show with the Magic. This is a defensive team. Okay? So when you're defensive, you got to lock down the other squad because you guys can't shoot. Danny Green is not there. He's not shooting like he used to. It's not the same Danny Green. However, defensively, somehow, some way, that's why I said this coaching change has been good. They just can't knock down shots. Danny Green has been great defensively. I don't know what Frank Vogel has done to this team from a defensive perspective, but they are more energetic and into the defensive game. Even though they allow for 112 points, I feel when they settle on it in and work to the plan, this is their calling card. And yes, defense will take you to a championship over offense. I said it here first. So Danny Green has been great defensively. Kyle Kuzma, horrible game. I don't care what I see in the stat lines here. 8 points, 2 rebounds, not focused. Young kid, okay? Young kid. So he's off and on. I like him as a great talent. Maybe a fourth, or he looks like a fourth or third option on a team. He'll probably show himself out. If he's on a sorry team, let's say Minnesota without Towns, he'll put up 20, 24 a game, that type of, almost like Beasley, like, no offense, the nothing points, right? Beasley, he could put up 28, 29, but you're losing. Kuzma will be in the same ilk. However, he needs to be that guy off the bench for this team, and they need double digits. They need starter points from him off of the bench, and they're not getting that. Not a good performance from him. I didn't like it. Rajon Rondo, what an addition and what a performer. Shot the ball, maneuvered around. I really like what he brought to the table. Really sets folks up in the right positions. I love Rondo. I love what I saw last night. Nothing bad to say about him, especially off a first game back. Caruso's still playing. Not sure why, but these points told me why. 14 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. They're saying, shut up. That was in 16 minutes. So that was a big boost and made up for the Kuzma gaffe that they got. Caruso showed up. Problem is, no one else really showed up. Dwight Howard, what's wrong, brother? 1.4 rebounds. I don't care if you score 0 points, but every time you're on the floor, and by the way, not bad for 11 minutes, 4 rebounds. But I'm going to make fun of him anyway. 10 rebounds. We need Dwight, 10 rebounds every time he hits the court. I don't care if he's out there for 10 minutes. I'm making fun of him now. 10 minutes, 10 rebounds, Dwight. Because he's that great of a rebounder. And yes, rebounding changes the game. I know everyone's like, he don't do nothing. Guess what? Rebounding changes the game. You don't play basketball if you don't know that. Rebounders kill the game, and defensive anchors and shot blockers, okay? Mr. Morris, they're not giving him enough time. They're not giving him enough time to really flourish. And it's a shame, because you saw what his brother did on the Clippers. They're twins. The genes ain't that far apart. So help me out. Why aren't we playing this guy more and show him more of his skill set and what he can do? Not sure why, but Mr. Morris, 0 points in 9 minutes, didn't get enough time. Dion Waiters is not playing. I'm almost to the point where I would tell this team to switch up the starting lineup, even though it's going to be hard defensively. Throw in Dion Waiters into the starting lineup. Okay, I know he's a ball. He needs the ball in his hands. That's the problem. And LeBron needs the ball in his hands. You remember the Cavs days. However, switch it up. Get Caldwell Pope off of the first unit. Let him come off with the second unit and see what he can do to help out Kuzma, because the consistency isn't there. Caldwell Pope, I've been berating him for weeks. However, I know what he did on the Pistons. See, you guys can't look back that far, but I know what Caldwell Pope did on the Pistons, and he was a tremendous player there. So he can bring that back. Jared Doley, not sure why he's playing, but I guess they saw Mr. P.J. Tucker and said maybe he can reminisce with that. I'd rather have seen J.R. Smith come in and see what he brought to the table. He's not comfortable yet. J.R. has been horrible from a shooting perspective, but he's a what do you call it? A volume shooter. So if you don't get him, he needs that WD-40. If you don't get that oil in him, he's going to be rusty, and it's going to continue to show throughout these playoffs. Okay. So now as we jump back out, man, I just want to go into one more thing as we hit the NBA.com and look at that matchup between the Lakers. LeBron talking about feel or whatever. I don't know what the hell he's talking about on that thing, but at the end of the day now, I just want to get into some stats. The Lakers have to be better defensively, as well as get more three-point shooters in the game. That's the loss that they're having. Move Caldwell Pope around. Bring him off the bench. Him and LeBron James, there's this big brother thing. I can see it. I used to, when you're younger, I would say under 15, 16, I used to admire, Allen Iverson and Mike Jordan and, some of these players. I said, man, if I play, you get kind of awestruck if you play with these guys on the court. However, as I got older and I got more confident, and by the way, I'm not a basketball player, right? So I'm not a professional basketball player by any means. But anyhow, you start to get the confidence if you play with them. I do play pickup. I don't give a crap, right? I just didn't give a crap. I don't care who was on the court. I do my thing, and I'm gonna do my thing. And whether if you don't like it, take me off. Don't pick me up. Caldwell Pope has that 16-year-old under look to him when LeBron James gets on the court because he's with clutch management. And I tell you what, I don't care how much the king he is. Sometimes you got to get it in, and sometimes you got to get it in to the anger of some of your other players. It is what it is. Deal with it. You're a man. Deal with that and move on. He has to say F it. And that's what he's going to have to do. Caldwell Pope is going to have to say F it. Stat lines real quick. I just waited to bring this up. Russ, again, bad from three-point line. He's the guy for the 1 for 5, right? PJ Tucker was 2 for 7. He needs to improve there. Actually, PJ Tucker had a horrible shooting night, but it makes up for it with all the defense he was playing. Really not that much of a great night from the Rockets, okay? Not that great. Let's go to LAL and see how bad they were. For a night that LeBron James shot 28% from 3 because he continues to shoot it, then Caldwell Pope, Danny Green, where is he at? 2 for 7. Caldwell Pope, 1 for 5, 2 for 8. I mean, this is it. You got a lot of 30s and 20s here, man. I mean, what's going on? 20s and 30s, like you're trying to graduate school and get, have the first kid. 20s and 30s. I mean, that's not going to work in the NBA. You need to be mature. You need to have your kids, maybe be a granddaddy. We need some 40s and 50s in there. And that's where the percentage is there on the block. And that's not what's happening. You can see it's just been a broad base of nothing. No shooters. But you got a couple on the bench that I think can get going. Get J.R. Smith in. Get Dion Waiters in. I would even start J.R. and see what you get. Lakers, next game, let's see what they got. Overall, I think they have a better team because of the height of Anthony Davis and the size of Dwight Howard and Jamal McGee. That's where their edge is. But can those guys last with the speed and the shooting ability of the Houston Rockets? We shall see. But this is where it is. All Four Sports, I'm signing off. Long video on the Lakers. Gave you the rundown. I gave them the fix. What's up next? Next game, Lakers got it? I don't know. But I think Waiters or J.R. Smith should just get a 10-minute start to at least get Caldwell Pope comfortable. He's not 16 no more. He should be on a 24-25. It's about me and F everybody else. It is what it is. All Four, sign off. Peace. Bye.